Hey Bridal Babes, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Bridal Babe Society. My name is Emily. I am a bridal business coach for bridal hair and makeup artists. And today I want to talk to you about how to create wedding morning service timelines that are not so dreadful and that you do not have to create from scratch every single time. A little about me before we dive in, especially if you are new here and don't know who the heck I am. I think it's important to kind of introduce myself and you kind of know who and how and why I can speak about the things that I do here on my YouTube channel. So a little bit about me is my name is Emily. I was a solo bridal makeup artist for about a decade before I started building a team. I'm also a bridal team owner, still am to this day. I run my team, the Lovely Artistry Collective. We are one of the top beauty teams here in Columbus, Ohio. I am definitely a serial entrepreneur and I am a homeschool mama to my daughter, Haven. Something that's important to know is that I did not start as a CEO. I definitely started, like I said, as a solo bridal makeup artist, juggling everything, hating my inbox, having no client experience, and fast forward 17 plus years, I have scaled to a multi six-figure business with a team of over 15. I used to have multiple locations, and that definitely did not happen by accident. It was built through a lot of trial, error, figuring things out the hard way and the expensive way. I have wasted a ton of time and a ton of money. A little bit more about my journey, just to give you some stats. I did grow my bridal business by over 134% each year. I built a bridal team and hit multi six figures in just under 2 years. My bridal company still brings in close to 80 plus leads a month. And I have been in business over 17 years. In 2018, that is when I started Bridal Babe Society. I just had a calling to mentor and teach. I was getting asked by a lot of colleagues in my industry, and I'm like, man, I really love this. So I've been helping bridal artists systemize, automate, and scale their business since 2018. And whether you are solo artists, whether you want to build a team, whether you have a team, there's 3 things that I stand by, especially in this industry. First thing is that you cannot scale chaos. Simplicity equals scalability, period. You also cannot grow what you don't track, and you cannot build freedom on a shaky foundation. Speaking of freedom, today my business allows me to homeschool my daughter, lead my bridal team from home. I work wherever I want, whenever I want. My business supports my life and not the other way around. And that should be the standard. And that is exactly what I help my clients do at Bridal Babe Society. Here's just a little collective photo of my bridal team. These are some of my amazing, lovely artists. There's a picture of my daughter, a sub logo of my company, the Lovely Artistry Collective, just to kind of give you a visual of what my brand and aesthetic is and things that I've built kind of look like behind the scenes. So let's talk timelines. It's a dreaded conversation. Bridal hair and makeup timelines are not optional. They do run the entire morning. If the timeline is off, everything feels chaotic and the entire day can get behind. That's a lot of responsibility to carry. The problem is that timelines, creating them, are entirely too time consuming to build. It's a constant back and forth. There's mental math gymnastics, and we're constantly trying to make multiple moving pieces fit perfectly. I keep hearing the same frustration over and over again from my own clients and students and everywhere in Facebook groups. Timelines are always a pain point and they're not going anywhere. So instead of staying frustrated and stuck, staying stagnant in entrepreneurship is like my worst fear. I absolutely hate it. I decided to build a tool that makes this easier for our industry. So they are faster to create, they're less stressful to manage, and they are taking up way less of your mental load, right? So I'm going to show you what I created for us. Okay, so here is a view of the timeline template. This is just a single version of it. I'm going to show you a couple other versions of it too, but I want to kind of walk you through the points or the sections that are consistent across any of the versions. So the first thing is that you can brand this. So you can change the colors. You, of course, would put your logo on here. You would make this super branded to your aesthetic. Up here is general contact information that you can type in. Next is policy reminders. So this is something that lives in, for my bridal company, we have our policy reminders that have to do with policies in regards to wedding day policies. We reiterate those important policies in our beauty service prep guide, but I wanted to have a section here, and you can even change the background color of this if you would want, but I wanted to have a section for policy reminders. So for example, if you require everybody to be at the getting ready location at the start time, this is where you would want to put that. Things like that that are super important. Then I have a section here where you can make this a clickable link and they can download your beauty service prep guide. If you're not using a guide, I do sell one in my shop, but it's super important. This is where we are educating our clients, right, on how to prep their hair, how to prep their makeup, what to wear, what to bring. All of that is our responsibility as luxury service providers, right? They should be looking to us to educate them on those prep instructions. Again, this is where I reiterate policy, but it's mostly a prep guide that the bride can then send. It's a beautiful PDF that we link and is attached to one of our workflow items that go out and to deliver this. But I also wanted to put a spot for it to be linked here on the timeline template. The next section is going to be like your general information, right? The only thing is you don't have to fill in all of this. This is part of the coding that we have built into this template to help have some automation so that you don't have to do so much mental math gymnastics. So the only thing that you're putting in to this area is going to be your service location. So wherever it is, the venue, the hotel, whatever, you can type that into here. The next thing you're going to choose is your prep time. So this is for how early do you arrive before you start services. So if you are somebody that wants 30 minutes to set up, and let's say you want to start at 11, like your timeline, like your prep time, you're going to choose that 30-minute prep. And you're going to see that changes this here. So this is customized based on you, how you work, how your team works. But whatever that prep time is, like in my company, we start 30 minutes before. So whatever our start time is, our artist arrival is 30 minutes before that. So that is what you're going to choose here. How much time are you arriving before services should start to prep and set up? The system is going to remember this information. The next thing you have to put in is your service completion time. So that's the only thing you're putting in. The arrival and the start time is going to auto-populate, okay, as you build out your timeline. So you're going to put in your address, choose your prep time, and the end time, because this is a time that's coming from the bride, the photographer, whoever. This is something you're going to know immediately. It's going to be very clear, right? Hey, we need services done by 2. Okay, that's easy to put into my template. It's when we get into putting in all this stuff down here, the different services, the different artists, how much time we're taking. That's where this gets like mentally exhausting, especially if you're doing like 5+ timeline creations in a day, depending on how busy you are in your business, or if you have a team, that's like an even bigger nightmare. So this here is going to auto-populate. We have lots of coding into this template. So again, you're going to put in your service location, you're going to put in your service completion time and choose your prep time. This is going to auto-populate, and I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, so as you scroll down, you're going to see that there's all these different columns. I'm not going to read them all to you. You can see them on the screen. But here is where you're going to put the time. So before I show you any of this, real quick, there are drop downs for client. See this little arrow? There's drop downs. There's drop downs for artist, and there's drop downs for service type and service duration. So before we get too far into this, I'm going to show you where you're going to control that information. And that's going to be right here on the drop downs tab. So it's the first tab when you buy this template that you have the different columns here. Okay, this is how the coding communicates, if you will. So the artist column is for your name. If you are a solo artist, you're going to delete everything except artist 1, and you're going to put your name. If you're a solo artist that works with an assistant, you can put your name and your assistant's name. If you are a bridal team, you can put all of your artists here. The next column is client. So I left this super like vague in the sense of like showing you different examples. So I put in a couple, like this is all demo data, okay? You are going to replace this unless you like to refer to people as client number, that's fine. So in my company, we call them attendants. We do not get everybody's name that we're servicing and put their name into the template. I think that's a waste of time. However, if you prefer to do that, you absolutely can do that. You would just, each bride, you're going to duplicate this template. So each bride has her own template, and you can put all the people's name if that's how you prefer to do it. If you prefer to title people by their party title, you can do that, like mother of the groom, whatever. Or you can just put attendant 1 through whatever. You can do whatever you want. So that's how that one works. The next one is service type. So what services do you offer? So like in my company, we offer the bridal blowout. It's an add-on, it's an upgrade service. So that would be something I would be putting on here as well. So again, all the services that you offer, you want to put here, and you want to make sure that you're accounting for touch-ups. If you don't work with an assistant, obviously you remove assistant prep, no problem there. And the next thing is going to be your service duration. So think about the different intervals that you do different things, such as touch-ups or your hairstyling or your makeup, whatever it is. And that's what you're going to put in here. Now we're going to come back to the timeline template. And now that we have put all of our demo, information in, let's pretend. And I want to just show you how this works. So if you are booking 2 services at the same time, so 10 and 10, let's say one is hair, one is makeup, this timeline is not going to duplicate this cost. The time. So obviously, if you have 2 appointments at 10, it's only 1 hour into your timeline, not 2, right? And this coding knows that. However, if let's say your hairstyling is 1.5 hours, but your makeup is 1, it's going to take the longer of the 2 and build that into the timeline. So just keep that in mind. That is how it works. And then the service end time is just a visual for you. It'll auto calculate that. Just to give you a visual, this doesn't really mess too much with any of the coding, but again, just for you to kind of see that, it auto populates for you, which is so nice. And then there's a column for notes. So this is something that we use mostly for, like, if there's an allergy that we're alerted of ahead of time, we will come in here and put that in the note section. And in that case, I would probably put the person's specific name or party title just so that we know. But you can put any kind of notes here if needed or not use it at all. But then you just go and you continue to fill in your timeline. And as you can see, this changes. So it's 10:45, 11:15 right now, but if I change that to an hour, that goes to 10:30 and to 11. And then auto populates to 12 because I chose 1 hour. So it's really nice and really quick. This is just the general one. This is really great for solo artists and teams. If you're not having too much going on, you could just do 9 and 9, 10 and 10, 11, 11 if you are doing hair and makeup at the same time. But I did want to include just a couple other options because everybody has their preferences. So the next one is the same. This is all the same template, just different versions. So down here, everything's coded the same, except you have a section for service 1, or this could also be artist 1, service 2, or artist 2. You can change it. This is if you want, like, each of them to have their own, like maybe a hair schedule, maybe a makeup schedule. The next thing is if you have 3 going on, and then if you have 4 going on. So same concept, just a little bit of a different visual. And then I also did include just a completely blank template with no coding at all, just in case maybe the coding is maybe confusing you. It shouldn't, it's really easy, but, or maybe you're just somebody that wants like just complete customization and the way you schedule things is very unique to you. Then you have a blank template with no coding so that you can still present this in a beautiful, beautiful way. So, what's great about this is you buy it one time and you can duplicate it and use it forever. So you can just come up here to file and make a copy for every bride that you do. And then you could save it under her name with her date here. You can even share access to it and just give them view access, or you can export this and save it as a really pretty PDF to send to your bride at that step of the workflow for timelines. What's nice, you could also download it as a PDF and upload it to your Google Calendar for that day. You can like attach it as a document to that Google event calendar if you have all your weddings on your Google Calendar. So those are the different ways to use that. But yeah, this is something I wanted to create for a really long time, to be honest. And I just didn't have the time. I was just too busy in client work and running my bridal team. But I'm so glad I finally sat down and like got to this, because so many bridal artists have already grabbed this and are loving it, and it's helping things not feel so dreaded, right? Like there's so many parts of our running our businesses that are so fun, and there's a lot of things too that kind of can feel dreadful. And Timelines was one of those pain points. So I hope that you grab this, and I hope that it helps you in your bridal business. And I would love to see you using it. If you do, post and tag me on socials. I would love to reshare. And if you are watching this on YouTube, I actually have a discount for you for 10% off this template and actually anything in my Bridal Babe shop. But just use code YouTube10 and you can save 10% on this. I will put all the information in the description below. A couple things before I go. I did want to invite you to join my email list, the Bridal Babe Insider. I send a weekly email every Thursday evening with truly just real life behind the scenes strategy, pain points, just all the things that we need in this industry, a real discussion. I also have a free community that I host on Circle. We used to have a Facebook group, but Facebook is annoying. And so now we have our own off Facebook private community with bridal babes across the world. So you can come join. It's completely free. It's on my website and also linked below. Also, if you are looking for a bridal business mentor or coach or somebody to help you in your business, you can download my service guide. I would absolutely love to talk to you. I do offer complimentary discovery calls if you kind of feel stuck or stagnant. I can kind of help point you in the right direction. And then lastly, definitely check out the Bridal Babe shop. I have all of my trainings, templates, courses, my one-on-one services, coaching, and so much more. Again, like I mentioned, you can save 10% off anything in my shop by using YouTube 10. And yeah, I would love to invite you to come over there and browse. And again, feel free to schedule a discovery call with me, and I would love to help you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.